On the 5th of February 2017, the Speak team once again took to the streets to educate the public about the horrors of factory farming. We wore masks representing the faces of 4 farm animals as well as symbolic cages. We did this in order to represent the billions of animals dying each year under unnatural and inhumane conditions in the modern factory farming system. Speaking for the cows, the chickens, the pigs and the sheep, we handed out flyers containing information on each of these animals and about the brutal ways in which they are being raised, utilized and killed today. On this occasion, we visited the restaurants and shops of 4th Street in Parkhurst and then moved on to the Green Heart Vegetarian Market at the Pirates Club. Wherever possible, we engaged with the community to tell them about what is happening in the factory farming system. As always, we found that for many people, there's a disconnect between the food they eat on their plates and the sentient beings that have been killed for their meals. Today, many South Africans have become part of the drive among growing groups of people worldwide who believe that animals should have certain rights and indeed do have those rights. At the very basic level, they believe that animals have a right to the so-called 5 freedoms, namely freedom from hunger and thirst, freedom from discomfort, freedom from pain, injury and disease, the freedom to behave normally, and freedom from fear and distress. Unfortunately, almost all of these freedoms are abused in the modern factory farming system and in fact most food and agricultural systems. On today's factory farms, animals are crammed by the thousands into filthy, windowless sheds and stuffed into wire cages, metal crates and other torturous devices. These animals will never raise their families, root around in the soil, build nests or do anything that is natural and important to them. Most won't even feel the warmth of the sun on their backs or breathe fresh air until the day they're loaded onto trucks headed for the slaughterhouses. The factory farming industry strives to maximize output while minimizing costs, always at the animal's expense. The giant corporations that run most factory farms have found that they can make more money by squeezing as many animals as possible into tiny spaces, even though many of the animals die from disease or infection. Animals on factory farms endure constant fear and torment. They're often given so little space that they can't even turn around or lie down comfortably. Egg-laying hens are kept in small cages, chickens and pigs are kept in jam-packed sheds, and cows are kept on crowded, filthy feedlots. Antibiotics are used to make animals grow faster and to keep them alive in the unsanitary conditions. Research shows that factory farms' widespread use of antibiotics can lead to antibiotic-resistant bacteria that threaten human health. Most factory-farmed animals have been genetically manipulated to grow larger or to produce more milk or eggs than they naturally would. Some chickens grow so unnaturally large that their legs cannot support their outsized bodies and they suffer from starvation or dehydration when they can't walk to reach food and water. When they've grown large enough to slaughter or their bodies have been worn out from producing milk or eggs, animals raised for food are crowded onto trucks and transported for miles through all weather extremes, typically without food or water. At the slaughterhouse, those who survive the transport will have their throats slit, often while they're still conscious. Many remain conscious when they're plunged into the scalding hot water of the defeathering or hair removal tanks, or while their bodies are being skinned or hacked apart. This is why we are interacting with the community in this way, because we hope to raise awareness of the basic, undeniable truth that today every animal product consumed entails suffering, violence and pain. You can choose to end this violence by leaving animals off your plate.